Hi, my name is Simon Pimenta, and today I'm going to have a chat with Faith Canter, who is a coach and author of 3 books. Is that right, Faith?
It is right, yes, all three.
Right, okay, well, we might be talking a bit about one of them a little bit later. And today I'd just like to talk. I watched a video where you were talking about reducing toxins, and I just thought it'd be really interesting to spend about 15 minutes just talking a bit more about that topic. Um, what are the toxins that we should be concerned about? And so if you can just tell us a little bit about this topic, introduce us to the subject.
Well, it's quite a wide topic. It
Uh-huh.
covers quite a lot of things. As you'll know from following my work and stuff, it's not just about food, although that is obviously one of the predominant ways that toxins enter our system, but it's also about our thoughts and also about the toxins in our cleaning products, our skincare products, our makeup, those sorts of things. So it's quite a wide topic, really, which is why my first book was quite big
Uh-huh.
to cover it all. But if we're going to break it down and say just, I don't know would you want me to speak about all 3 of these things, or would you just
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
food
Why
or?
not? Why not? Let's go through those topics as you mentioned them, and we'll just sort of spend about 5 minutes on each topic just to get a flavour, and then
Okay,
we'll see
yeah.
where we get to.
Okay, cool. So food is where most of us think that the toxins come in from, and yes, that there is a good proportion of them come in from there. So it's really just about being just a bit more conscious about our shopping, our eating, our preparing of our foods and things like that. So for me, I have a couple of kind of, I don't like to use the word rules, but I guess it's just a couple of little guidelines, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah, yeah.
with food, and that is eat the rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
So your plate should look predominantly coloured,
Yeah.
not beige, which I know certainly me in my past that a lot of it was beige. So eat the rainbow, not just because you're going to get obviously a wide variety of nutrients and things, but also a lot of the colourful foods are antioxidants as well.
Yeah.
So they're going to help eliminate the toxins and things that are in our bodies and in our food. So yeah, eat the rainbow, eat colourful, bright foods, and eat real as well. So if you're eating something that doesn't resemble anything like what it looked like when it came up out the ground, off the tree, off the animal, then it's probably been processed to in such a way that it's full of toxins.
Yeah.
Now, remember, these are guidelines, not always exactly true, but I'm so when things have got really long shelf lives, there's a reason they've got a long shelf life. It's usually because they've been sprayed with something, or they've got something within the packaging to keep
Mm-hmm.
them from going off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So food should go off. If we look at food and we think, oh great, that'll last us 6 weeks, then really we should be thinking, well, it wouldn't last 6 weeks, normally. So
Yeah.
it's got something usually toxic on it to keep it from going off.
Yeah.
So yeah, eat the rainbow and eat it real, and that will reduce the amount of toxins coming in, and also help the body to eliminate the toxins that are on our food. But yeah, kind of, if you can't afford to go organic, then just try and buy more from the farmer, buy locally. Ask if it's somebody locally, if they spray their food and things like that. There's a list that's being updated every single year called the Dirty Dozen and the
Yeah.
Clean 15.
Yeah.
So you can always look at that. But generally, things that are like soft fruits, got soft skins and stuff, generally have more likely to have more toxins in them than a hard skinned thing like a banana or an avocado or something like that.
Yeah.
And again, with leafy things, the same. If you can, grow your own, obviously. But yeah, even when you buy things and you think, well, it's probably got stuff on it because it didn't say it was bio or it didn't say it was organic or anything like that, then there are other things you can do to reduce the toxins that are within the food. Like with your fruit and veg, you can put it into your sink or a large bowl when you've bought them with some vinegar and water and leave them to soak for anything between 15 minutes and an hour, and that will remove a lot of the toxins from the skins of the fruit and vegetables. And of course fermenting, which I talk about a lot. So that's not pickled food, that's fermented food that's done in a very traditional old-fashioned way, is a great way of keeping your foods for longer if that's what you're wanting. And also it will eliminate a lot of the toxins from the foods as well, as the probiotics and the good bacteria and things grow on the food. So that's fermented foods is good for us in so many different ways. The fermented foods in themselves help to detox the body as well. So they're putting good toxins in, they're helping us absorb more of the nutrients from the foods that we eat as well, and they help eliminate toxins from the body. So they're kind of a win-win approach to detoxing or keeping low on the toxins that are coming into the body.
Right. Yeah, and I actually did watch one of your videos on fermenting recently, and that is on my list of things to do in 2018 is to start eating more fermented foods.
Excellent.
So I recommend to people to check out Faith's videos on that topic.
There's tons.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I watched you fermenting cabbage.
Yeah, so you haven't watched the red onion one then, where I cry on screen.
Okay.
Always a winner.
Right. Okay. Oh, that sounds. I like red onion, so that would be a different way of using it. Okay. So, is there anything else you want to say about the food? I know we're just touching on these topics very quickly, but we're going to have another conversation about sort of eating raw. So we'll talk more about that topic. But anything else you want to just add to thinking about food and toxins at this point?
There's so many different things you could say, like eat magnesium-rich foods because that helps with detoxification of the body. Eat greens, parsley. Things that are bitter, like a lot of the bitter teas and things like that, like nettle tea, that sort of thing, really good for detoxing. The bitterness stimulates our saliva and the whole process of detoxification in the body. So anything that's bitter in spices and things is really good for that kind of thing as well.
Just going back to the magnesium, what foods in particular are high in magnesium?
There's a whole range of them, but things like dates, spinach, some nuts. I think cashew that's high? One of the nuts is high. There's a whole load of magnesium-rich foods. And also there's other ways of getting magnesium in as well, like Epsom salt baths. If you don't have a bath, then foot baths.
Right.
Great for getting magnesium in and toxins out.
Right.
And body brushing and stuff like that. But we can talk about that another time if you like.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, kind of. I think the things I said at the beginning are the key ones, because you can't, and I know that I did when I started on the detox journey, you can get so sucked into, I have to eat this, I have to do that, I have to do that, and then next week somebody else says to do it a different way.
Yeah.
So it's really just trying to eat the rainbow, eat real, And also the other key thing, listen to yourself. Listen to your own body. We're all individuals. So what works for one person doesn't always work for another.
Yeah.
Often doesn't. So
Yeah.
if you're eating a lot of, I don't know, dried fruit or something, because everyone said that's a really good thing to do, or something like that, but you're feeling bloated and uncomfortable, then it's not the right thing for you.
Yeah.
You know? So really listen to your body. Our body is giving us little messages and invitations all the time for what's good for us, what's not good for us, what drains us. When does your energy deplete? Is it before or after you eat certain foods or do certain things? You know, really start to listen into what your body is telling you, instead of following another program, another diet, another detox or whatever. Really, really listen to yourself.
Yeah,
that's the key.
Interesting. All right. So do you want to talk a little bit about, I think you mentioned sort of beauty products and stuff like that. How do you, you know, obviously I haven't got a very strong beauty regime. I don't, but, you know, and I'm sure I could, you know, could learn something. But for people, you know, I do work with a lot of women, and so talk about that a bit. How can people remove toxins from the stuff they're putting on their body?
Yeah, this for me is really, really important, because most of us, like I said at the beginning, concentrate on food, but actually it's believed that we absorb about 60% of the stuff we put onto our skin, which is why you have things like nicotine patches, contraceptive patches, those sorts of things. It's a really effective way to absorb things in the body.
Yeah.
So when you think of that, it makes sense that if we're putting chemicals onto our skin, then we're going to be absorbing a lot of those chemicals as well. So when you look at the back of your skincare, hair care, makeup, whatever products and things, and you see this huge long list of all these chemicals that you don't understand, then that's not a good sign, because a lot of that is being put into the body and it's not going through our digestive tract. So it's not being broken down in the same way as well. It's going straight into our blood. Which is obviously not good as well. So there are some really, really effective, really cheap things you can make and do yourself. So you don't have to go out there and spend an absolute fortune on natural, organic skincare products and things, which I know most people don't have the money for. You know, it's twice, if not double. It's double, if not three times the price of some of the other stuff. So instead of toxic moisturizers and things, you can use coconut oil.
Right.
You know, coconut oil is also an antifungal, an antibacterial, an anti-inflammatory. So it's great if you've got skin problems. It's great if you have got any kind of bacterial infections, or, you know, anything like that going on, any inflammation. It's cheap. You can buy big buckets of it online for next to nothing. Most of the supermarkets sell it as well now. So you can use that as a moisturizer, and you can also, it's a very, very mild sun cream as well. So, you know, in the spring and the autumn, sometimes that's enough instead of the toxic sun creams.
Right. Okay. So what factor are we talking?
I don't know, but it's kind of it's probably like a 5 or something. Don't quote me on that. But I know it's mild because I'm very fair skinned. And I can get away with using it most of the time, apart from if it's really intense heat. But I'm not suggesting other people necessarily do that. Try it yourself first. But it is a mild sun cream, and sun creams are really, really toxic. And because our skin is hot, usually when we put them on, and our pores are open, we're actually absorbing a lot more of them than we may do a normal cream. Yeah. So it's a great way of kind of reducing the need for those sorts of things as well. Yeah. And it heals wounds and things as well on ourselves, stretch marks, those sorts of things as well, and also on animals. Like I use it on my dogs and things like that as well. Interesting. And it's also the other thing that coconut oil is good for is it's good as a mouthwash. So again, the mouthwashes tend to be very toxic. Most of them have got alcohol in and things as well.
Yeah.
If you gargle with coconut oil, which takes a little bit of getting used to to start with, if you gargle with coconut oil before you brush your teeth, it starts to release the toxins in the mouth.
Yeah.
And also it helps, like I used to have, my gums used to bleed a lot. I had a lot of inflammation in my mouth since using coconut oil most days. All of that's gone away. It's reduced all the inflammation. The gums have started to, or have now grown back to where they should be and things.
Right,
So
okay.
it's really great for oral health as well. And some people even use it to put on their hair and stuff as well. So coconut oil can replace most skincare products, which is great. You can also use it as a base for balms and various other things as well. And then you can make your own shampoos and conditioners out of a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of bicarb. Some people will put coconut oil in, some essential oils. There's recipes for everything I'm mentioning totally for free and stuff on my website as well. So if people want to see the recipes, they can. So yeah, you can make up shampoos and conditioners yourself, which cost next to nothing to make up and last a long time. And again, can be used on dogs as well as on us, depending on what essential oils you put in. So that's a really good way of replacing that. You can make your own balms. Again, cost hardly anything. Really fun thing to do. These things are great to do before Christmas as well and give them away as Christmas gifts and things to people. But yeah, you make your own balms, put different essential oils in. Because lip balms, those sorts of things, again, very toxic because they've got their base is petroleum. So we're putting that onto our lips and stuff, and then generally licking our lips and things. So you can replace those easily.
So that's using coconut oil and essential oils.
And usually something like shea butter. You don't have to, but if you use something like shea butter, it's gentler on the lips.
Right.
If it was a balm, you're just using, like I made a balm up recently for a friend who's suffering with dermatitis. I just used coconut oil and a selection of essential oils.
Right.
You can find recipes to anything online. You know, if you've got a particular product that you really like and you can't do without, then Google natural alternative recipes for that product. And you will find hundreds, if not thousands, of alternatives you can make yourself. And that goes for anything: food, hair, skin, everything. If there's something you just feel you cannot live without, but you know it's really toxic, then just start experimenting. There are loads of people before you that have done this and replaced their products. So that's what I did initially. There's lots of recipes to try out there. So you can replace any of that, and the same thing goes with the cleaning products and stuff as well. It's so cheap to replace all these toxic cleaning products that we use, and much better for us, but also much better for the environment because we're not flushing all this stuff down the sewers and stuff. And it's worth remembering that anything we can smell, we're ingesting through breathing. So, you know, things like bleaches or air fresheners, perfume, all of those sorts of things, that's going into our lungs. And most of us are not breathing correctly. So we're not emptying our lungs all the time. So the toxins sit in the bottom of our lungs and loiter there doing their deeds. So it's you know, I know a lot of us, and perfume was one for me. It's like, oh, I like to smell nice. But actually what I found with perfume is I have a little spray bottle or sometimes a tiny little roll-on bottle, and I just put water in it and a selection of essential oils that I like, and I spray that on myself around the house, in the car, or roll it on. And that makes it, again, a really lovely gift for people, but also it's a great alternative to like perfumes are really, really toxic for us because they're going on our skin and into our lungs.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can replace the perfumes with beautiful essential oils instead, which are then also healing as well as, smelling nice, then you're saving yourself a small fortune for a start, because perfumes are not cheap these days.
Yeah.
And you're also, there's a lot less toxins coming into contact with your body as well.
Excellent. And just going back to, you mentioned sort of bleach and cleaning products. What do you use instead of, what's the stuff called? Anyway, what do you use to clean your kitchen, to clean your bathroom? What kind of products do you
Vinegar.
use? Okay.
Yeah, vinegar in water. I have old spray bottles that I've kept from the toxic days.
Yeah.
And I just feel, I think it depends where I'm using it, but I fill it usually if it's in the kitchen, about halfway with water and half vinegar, or 2/3 water and 1/3 vinegar, white vinegar,
okay.
which you can pick up in any shop for next to nothing.
Yeah.
And then again, essential oils. So if it's something to kind of clean the floors, and if it's in the kitchen, I might want it antibacterial, so I might put in things like tea tree, lavender, and then some citrus to cut through the vinegar. Because a lot of people don't like to use vinegar because they feel their place smells like a fish and chip shop then. But actually, I've noticed it only smells when you're using it. As soon as it's dried, it doesn't smell anymore if you use citrus.
Right. Okay.
So you can use like citrus essential oils like oranges, lemon, grapefruit. You can also save the peels from your oranges, your lemons, your grapefruit, and put them into a jar with the vinegar water, and like leave it in there for a few weeks, and it will absorb that. Or just actually squeeze some lemon in. It also helps break down kind of the essential oils a little bit, so you don't get any greasiness from those. And then you just shake it each time you use it, because otherwise the essential oils will sit on top. You just shake it and you spray.
Wow. Okay.
And it cleans better than anything else that I've bought in the past that was, full of toxins.
Yeah. Okay.
It's natural. It's good for us. It's good for the environment. It costs pennies. You know, once you've got a selection of essential oils, all of these things don't cost very much.
Yeah.
And you just refill it. And I use the same sort of thing in my bathroom, but usually something that smells a little nicer, because it's a little bit more luxurious.
Yeah.
But I don't. The only thing I would use is I don't use the spray around, like the rubbers around the edge of the bath and stuff like that, because the vinegar will eat away at it eventually.
Okay. And so do you use the same strength for the loo and stuff like that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and you can put, if you've got something like really greasy or stuck on, then you can use things like bicarb as well.
Right. Okay.
And you can use bicarb in the washing machine to whiten your whites. You can use bicarb's a brilliant deodorizer in the house.
Yeah.
So I have dogs, so I have an old shake and back type tub that I used to have, and I fill it with bicarb and some essential oils, and I shake that around everywhere before I hoover.
Right.
And that's rather than some of the alternatives. So. Yeah. And again, like the spray with the essential oils and just water, I spray that around.
Yeah, in fact, I did a while back clean my oven using just bicarb of soda, and it was incredible how much gunk came off. I did it a couple of times on each sort of plate, but it was extraordinary, how number one, how dirty the oven had got, and how clean it got. Just using bicarb.
Yeah.
So that's a great tip. Excellent. So where can people find out more about this? Because I think it's one of your books on this topic of detoxing.
Well, my first two books are about detoxing. But the second book is more a program that you follow for for detoxing body and mind.
Right.
It's less about the home.
Yeah.
But the first book, Living a Life Less Toxic, that was kind of came about through dozens of blogs and things that I'd written as I was getting well from various different health ailments.
Yeah.
And it's got recipes on different meals. It's got recipes on different skincare products, home care products, on how to support the body with any kind of detoxing, so that we're not just kind of releasing the toxins back into the system and then reabsorbing them again, which a lot of quick fix kind of detoxes do. And also, and really importantly, it talks about how to detox the mind, because if we're only concentrating on the body and not the mind, then we will find that it won't be anywhere near as effective as if we were doing them both at the same time. So really kind of detoxing our thoughts about ourselves, our lives, the world, and supporting ourselves through the process that we're going through.
Okay, so people can check out those books.
And it's all free on my website as well.
Yeah, that's my final question. I was just going to ask you.
So.
Okay, so people can go to your website. What is your website? I'll put it below the video, but do you want to just say what your website is?
Yeah, it's www.faithcanter.com. So, and there's on YouTube, there's like hundreds and hundreds of videos and different playlists. So if you're only interested in detoxing, you can go to that playlist.
Yeah.
Or if you're interested in raw food or fermented food or meditation or whatever, there's different playlists for different things. So,
brilliant.
It's all there if you want to know about it.
Excellent. Well, I'll certainly be taking some information away from this chat and putting it into practice myself. I like the idea of using the vinegar for cleaning, because at the moment my house is full of bottles of stuff that my cleaner uses, and so I'm sure that'll be a little bit of a battle getting her using them, but I'm sure it'll be a positive step, something nice to try out. All right, well listen, thanks Faith for that. Really interesting to hear your thoughts on that topic, and people can check out your website if they want more information, and your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me to chat about it.
You're welcome. Bye for now.